9 texting mistakes to avoid. So he always values you. In love, texting is not an accurate measure of how much a man loves you. Men don't always express their emotions through constant texting. When a man is truly in love, he shows it through actions rather than just words on a screen. There are times when he misses you deeply, but instead of texting, he might look at your photos or simply wish to see you in person. Sometimes he'll call you out of the blue, and other times he'll send just a short but meaningful message that carries more weight than a long conversation. So, don't judge a man's love for you based solely on how often he texts. Instead of making texting mistakes that diminish your attraction, learn these 9 essential texting rules to keep him cherishing and valuing you. 1. Don't passively wait for his text. Many women make the mistake of texting a man and then anxiously waiting for his response. If he takes too long to reply, negative thoughts start creeping in. What is he doing? Why hasn't he texted me back yet? And from there, you create endless scenarios in your head, making yourself feel anxious, restless, and even disappointed for no real reason. The moment you ask yourself, why hasn't he texted me yet? You are already radiating negative energy. This energy drags down your mood, making you feel insecure and causing you to depend emotionally on his texts. Instead, text with a confident mindset, like someone who is valuable and desired, not someone who is chasing after attention. A high-value woman has important things to do. She doesn't waste her time waiting by the phone. Stay busy with your career, hobbies, self-growth, and personal happiness. Enjoy your life instead of letting your emotions depend on a text message. After sending a text, move on with your day. If he's truly interested, he will text back. If he doesn't, it doesn't affect you because your life is already fulfilling without waiting on his response. When you stop overthinking and keep a positive, confident energy, you naturally become more attractive to men. 2. Don't overtext when he hasn't replied. Have you ever found yourself sending multiple texts just because he didn't reply right away? You send the first message, but when there's no response, you start feeling anxious. Then comes the second text, then the third. The longer he stays silent, the more you feel the urge to keep texting to get his attention. But do you know what this actually does? It makes you seem too eager, too available, and too desperate for his response, which kills attraction and makes you less of an exciting challenge for him. When you overtext, you radiate needy energy, which is highly unattractive. Men are drawn to mystery and independence, but if you text too much, you signal that you're too available and have nothing else going on in your life. Give him space. Don't pressure him to respond immediately. Sometimes silence is more powerful. It gives him the chance to miss you and reach out on his own. If he's interested, he will respond. Let him take the initiative instead of always being the one to start the conversation. Create attraction by being less predictable. When you stop overtexting, he will start wondering, what is she doing? Why isn't she texting me like before? Which sparks curiosity and reignites his desire to chase you. Attraction is built on value, not excessive texting. If you have an exciting, fulfilling life, you won't need to chase his attention. He will naturally be drawn to you. 3. Don't turn texting into an interrogation. Have you ever sent texts like these? Where are you? What are you doing? Why are you online but not texting me? While you may think these questions show concern, to a man, they often feel like an interrogation. This can make him feel pressured, controlled, and suffocated, causing him to pull away instead of wanting to engage. Men crave freedom in relationships. They don't want to feel like they're under surveillance or constantly reporting their every move. If your texts start feeling like an obligation rather than a pleasant conversation, he will instinctively withdraw and communicate less. The better approach, instead of questioning him, ask in a way that invites him to share naturally. How was your day? Anything interesting happened today? These types of open-ended questions make him feel comfortable and willing to share without feeling pressured. Let him take the lead in sharing. If he cares, he will naturally tell you about his day without you having to pull it out of him. A high-value woman doesn't check up on her man through texts. Instead, she creates an atmosphere where he feels safe, relaxed, and eager to share with her. 4. Don't complain. Too much over text. If every time you text him, it's to complain about work, life, or even about him, he will start to associate talking to you with negativity. This can make him feel drained and less eager to engage in conversations. The better approach. Instead of focusing only on negative things, try sharing something fun, interesting, or positive about your day. When your texts bring lightness and joy, he will naturally want to text you more often. 5. Don't reply too fast or too slow. If you always reply immediately, he might assume that you're too available and don't have much going on in your life. But if you take too long to respond, he might feel like you're not interested. The balance. Respond naturally, not too fast, not too slow. Keep him anticipating your response, but don't make him feel ignored. A woman who balances her availability keeps the spark alive and makes texting feel effortless and enjoyable. 6. Don't use texting to resolve conflicts. Many people argue over text, but this only makes things worse. Texting lacks tone and emotion, making it easy for messages to be misinterpreted. A simple message can come across as cold or harsh, escalating the conflict further. The better approach. If it's an important issue, talk in person or at least over a phone call. Don't let misunderstandings through text damage your relationship. 7. Don't always be the one to text. First, if you're always the one initiating conversations, you might unintentionally put him in a passive role. When a man doesn't have to put in effort to earn your attention, he may lose the excitement of pursuing you. Men are wired to chase. If you're always the one reaching out, you're taking away his natural instinct to pursue you. When a man feels he doesn't have to work for your attention, he may become distant and start taking you for granted. Give him space to miss you and take the lead sometimes. Let him take the lead in communication. This doesn't mean you should play games, ignore him, or act distant on purpose. Instead, let the relationship flow naturally and give him space to miss you and reach out first. If he genuinely cares, he will text you first. A man who truly values you will find a way to connect with you. Don't panic if he doesn't message you for a day. Let him experience the feeling of missing you. Keep your mystique and challenge alive. Men love pursuing something they perceive as valuable. A woman who is independent, has her own life, and is not always available is far more intriguing. Make him feel that having you in his life is a privilege, but to keep you, he needs to put in effort. 8. Don't lower your value. Over text, some women tend to over-accommodate or always give in through texting, which can lead to losing a man's respect and appreciation. Stay independent and show your value. Don't always be the first to apologize over small conflicts. Stand your ground and let him see that you are a woman of value. Maintain your standards. When a man sees that you respect yourself, he will respect and appreciate you more. 9. Make your messages unforgettable. Instead of sending plain, predictable texts, create messages that leave an emotional impact and make him think about you all day. How to do this? Use a special nickname only the two of you share. Send playful or intriguing questions that make texting enjoyable. Occasionally surprise him with a sweet, thoughtful message to warm his heart. For some reason, I miss you more than usual today. Can you feel it? Guess what the cutest thing today was? You. These small yet meaningful texts create emotional connection and keep you on his mind. Final thoughts. Texting is a great way to connect, but don't let it diminish your value. Be mindful of how you communicate. Stay confident, keep a bit of mystery, and control your emotions instead of letting them control you. Apply these 9 principles starting today and watch how he begins to value and cherish you even more.